Okay.
So I think it's easier to use hands.
Okay.
Don't matter if that one is sticking out.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. So then.
Then you can push it back in.
Push it back, yeah.
Okay. So it goes big hole, ring, small hole, squish.
But the big hole has the
Plastic on it.
yeah, the plastic.
Yeah, because if you put over here, this one.
That's
this
never
one,
gonna fit.
It's some purpose why it's like we call combo. This is like we had a one regular hole in both sides bigger.
Okay.
So
Okay, so I take this, the side goes in there. No, ring. I almost made a mistake already. I did make a mistake already. This is supposed to be the easy part, isn't it?
Okay.
Nice job.
Perfect.
Now squish it. The other way. It's got to stand up tall, right?
What do you mean?
So that goes in.
This way.
Yep.
I haven't hit the gym lately. I want to go down.
Welcome back to the Manufacturing Alliance, everybody. I am Tony DeMakis with Alliance Specialties and Laser Sales, and I get to be your host. As we go through and we talk to U.S. manufacturers about what's important to them, how they got to where they are, the success, the struggles, the worries, the concerns, what's happening? Why is it important? Do we still need to build in the US? What's going on in the world around us when it comes to manufacturing as a whole in the industry? We don't talk about all the data points and the numbers and the graphs and all those fine details because frankly, they bore me. I want to talk to you, the people in the industry, the people that want to get into the industry, the people that are actually the hands on the ground, working, building, doing all the stuff. American manufacturing is still very important. It's still a vital part of who we are as a society and as a country. And that's a clip of Make Manufacturing Fun Again. So Justine from the TMA and myself have been going from shop to shop, going into their facilities and actually breaking down who they are, what they do, why they do it, how they do it, and being put to the test to see which one of us becomes the better employee at that facility. It's been a lot of fun. It's been really eye-opening. And you can go check all of that out on YouTube at Make MFG Fun Again. That's how you can search it. Just look for Make Manufacturing Fun Again and look for the not so skilled people trying to do all the things that skilled people are doing. And then you'll find us. That's when you know you've come to the right spot. And so if you'd like to be part of that, if you would like to have your company showcased and show us that we're idiots and we can't do certain things, great. We want to do that. We want to prove that manufacturing is a skill and there's a place for everybody within that within our space. So we hope that we can be part of that with you. It would be great for you to be a part of that. So that is that's that. We are Alliance. We are mold makers that don't build molds. We do all the things that you, the mold maker, needs help doing: polishing, laser welding, laser engraving, hot runner repair, preventative mold maintenance, and also production laser welding for high parts, high high volume parts, things that are traditionally being TIG welded, we can now do with a laser and turn around parts quicker for you with less cleanup, less damage to the part, just ready for you to go to work. On top of that, we also build and sell the only laser welding and laser engraving systems in the US for tool repair, for mold repair, for engraving and etching. All of it is built here in our Prairie Grove facility, which if you go back and you watch Make Manufacturing Fun Again, episode 1, you'll see a brief little bit of who we are and what we are doing. We hope that you enjoy the show, that you like the show, that you want to know more about it. And if that is you, if that's the case, please subscribe and follow us. Get those notifications so you never miss anything. That would be great. One of the things we love to do is continue to give back to the communities and the things that are important to us. And one of those is kids. We are very supportive of children's charities, and we want to help out wherever we can. And one of the ways that we're able to do that is by building our own equipment. We're able to then partner with the Tim Tebow Foundation and make a donation for every machine that is sold, every Alliance ID1 or Advantage machine that's sold. We're going to be making a donation to the Tim Tebow Foundation to help end human trafficking, because really, when it boils down to it, our goal is to make a difference in any way that we can. And that's one of the ways that we get to do that. And we love to surround ourselves with companies that also like to do that. And one of those is our friends at Shop Floor Coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I hear that this coffee is amazing, that it is a difference maker. It's not your typical shop Folgers, not so good stuff. And what's great is they are a US based company, and all the time when they sell product, they are also making donations to community charities and things that are happening. So if making a difference is important to you and you enjoy good coffee, then you should check out our friends at Shop Floor Coffee. Just go to shopfloorcoffee.com and add in ALL10 at checkout for 10% off your order. And the last thing I want to bring up is we are going to be out at the Med Device Show in Boston, September 30th through October 1st. It is where everybody goes to find out how they're going to make that next piece of medical equipment. There's going to be 3D printing and mold makers and laser welders and people that are walking through saying, like, I have this thing. How do I make it? Can you help me? If that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you're there September 30th through August 1st. It is in Boston. It should be a great trip. It's part of the MDNM network of events. We can't wait for it. It's going to be a lot of fun to do all those things. So we hope to see you guys there. And last but not least, I don't have a slide for it, but it really doesn't need one. Our annual golf outing is coming up in a couple months. It is September 19th. It's going to be the same story. If you're a good golfer, this may not be your thing. If you like to get out and network and have fun, maybe have a couple drinks, get some food, talk to some people, and just like give to a good cause, then this is the outing that you want to be at. All the proceeds are going to go to our friends at iWarriors. iWarriors is an organization that we have been supporting for years. It was started by friends of ours who wanted to do something to give back to combat wounded veterans. And so now what iWarriors specializes in is going out and providing iPads for combat wounded veterans so that they can do the things that they need to do, whether that is being in a hospital and talking to their loved ones, or there are special apps on there for PTSD training and exercises. And really what it does is allows us to say thank you for the people that served, for putting their life on the line and going to combat and doing those things so that we can have this life that we have here. And so if you would like to be part of that, you want to be part of the golf outing, we are looking for sponsors. We're looking for golfers. We're looking for all those things. You can send me an email at tony@alliancelasersales.com, and we will make sure to get you all the information that you want. We have a website set up for it, everything else. It is going to be a great time, and we look forward to seeing you all there. It usually sells out. It is sold out every year. That's not a threat. I'm just saying it's going to sell out. So make sure that you join us, at least sponsor, be part of it, do whatever you can. I'm going to stop yapping right now and bring in our guest for today, Adam Guidoboni. He is from Spectrum Custom Molds and Manufacturing, and let's bring him into the conversation. Adam, how are you, my friend?
Hey, Tony, doing good. How are you?
Thanks for sitting through my yammering for 9 minutes. I got to shorten it.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's good information, though. We love it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up, and I think it's just important that we continue to support the industry and the people that support the industry through and through. So, so let's talk about you. We've been chatting a little bit on LinkedIn for about a month or so, 2 months. No, it even goes back further than that. It was just a matter of scheduling for a while.
Yeah.
And you were one of those companies that, you put a simple post out on LinkedIn about supporting U.S. manufacturing, and you don't know what's going to happen. And you popped into there, and from there we've been able to have conversations, which can take us down a whole marketing rabbit hole. But let's tell people about Spectrum and what you guys do, and why this American manufacturing thing is important to you.
Yeah, so Spectrum, we started in 2018. My dad actually got retired from a Fortune 500 company and decided I want to do something of my own. Obviously, needed to start just budgetary wise on a smaller scale. So he actually purchased a dyeing tool shop. No customers, 30-year-old machines, bottom of the barrel, basically. Doing some small projects. We built one tool our first year, no employees. And then we basically started building from there. I came into the company in 2020, graduated high school, and really didn't decide to go to college because of the pandemic and everything going on at that time period. Made more sense for me to join the company and help support my dad in that sense. And he was really looking for a partnership at that time to really help him guide the sales and operations. So I took the operations route, he took the sales route, and we've basically now built the company to about a $2 million a year revenue, 10 employee company. And so we're just kind of growing from there.
That's awesome. So you got to graduate during COVID.
I did. Yep. Kind of a graduation. Started on Zoom, and then we ended up graduating in a soccer field with a bunch of masks.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. And then did you do like the drive-by graduation party, or did you guys like buck the system and say we're getting together?
We did a little drive-by. Really didn't see a lot of people during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty quiet.
It was weird, man.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably a great time to start a business.
That's, I think a lot of businesses failed in that time that
Yep.
were on more of the hospitality side. And we actually saw more of an opportunity. We ended up doing some PPE masks. We did some mask relief straps. The mask clip that we actually built that mold in 24 hours, which
Wow.
is the fastest we've ever built an injection molding in company history. But we worked 24 hours straight, and we actually built an injection mold in 24 hours and delivered 10,000 units to some hospitals all around the Southeast.
I think that time period showed what people were made of, right? Like there were a lot of shops that closed, just like the hospitality industry and everything else. But it seems to me, looking back on that the shops that closed weren't up for the challenge. They were just looking for like an easy way out, an excuse to be able to go away.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I totally agree. I think there were a lot of good opportunities there, but you really had to find them because a lot of shops were taking the easy route, like you're saying, where they didn't have to show up. The employees didn't want to show up for work, that kind of ordeal. And we took that route. We became an essential business, and we worked every single day.
Yep. It was one of the first things that we did, I remember, is reaching out to all of our customers that were in the food and beverage industry or in the medical industry and just saying like, hey, can you guys provide us with this letter that says that we're essential to your business and you need us? And they sent us all that stuff, and we put it up on the doors, and we did all the things. And it's one of those situations where the people that want to succeed are going to find ways to succeed, and the cream rises to the top, right? I mean, you don't have to look very far to see who's going to be successful and who's not. And it's really up to you at that point if you're going to put in the effort or just allow yourself to die.
Exactly. Yep. 100% agree.
And I think we just kind of experienced that again, with the uncertainty of what the administration was going to be, the tariff concerns, all of those kinds of things. You have and still have a lot of shops that are now closing their doors. They can't find the work. Instead of putting in the effort to find the work, they're selling to, private equity or different other entities. And they're just trying to get out of the game because they don't see the future.
Right. Yeah, we see that every day. I mean, especially local companies. We see it all the time. We've actually been approached a couple times throughout this year, and every time I think we see the future,
Yeah.
and we business was pretty slow last year with a lot of the uncertainty, and then basically end of last year hit. We were flooded with business, and then the tariffs came in, and then things started moving again. It's always right now. It's a very volatile time for manufacturing, but we see
Yes.
the long game. We see the long term.
Yeah, and when you look at the tariffs, right? There's this diverse set of views on, are they good, are they bad?
Right. Yep.
I'm assuming you see them as a good thing.
We see them as a good thing. This current state we're in, it's kind of I'm pretty neutral about it, because the good side, we have a lot of high value customers that are ready to drop an immense amount of money on investing in U.S. manufacturing, but because of the uncertainty with, is it just going to revert back, or are we going to get lower tariffs? They're just holding right now.
Yep.
They're not releasing that money because they don't know if they want to stay overseas or if they do want to move domestically. We do have some customers where we have seen an uptick in business because they don't care what the outcome is. They don't want the volatility. They want a commitment, and they want to stay in the U.S.
Yep.
And so I'm pretty neutral about it right now. I mean, if the tariffs do end up increasing and staying at a high rate for a while, then I think we're just going to be flooded with business. I mean, I'm going to probably have to close my doors until I can expand the building and buy more machines and hire more people. It's going to be that crazy.
And it's going to be a good thing. So if you're joining us, we're live, and we're live for a reason. We're live so that if you're listening, you can ask questions and be part of the conversation with Adam and I. Let us know what you're thinking of the tariffs. How are they affecting you? What does that look like? Are you excited for the tariffs? Does it hurt your business? Does it help your business? What does that look like for you as you're sitting there listening? Do you think we're nuts saying that we think the tariffs are a good thing? I know that when COVID happened, we talk about this all the time, and the borders were closed and you couldn't get tools out of China. Manufacturing business specifically increased substantially, right? People were busy. Shops were busier than they'd been in a long time, whether that was doing PPE stuff or just the fact that people couldn't build molds overseas.
Yeah.
And the industry was doing really, really well. I'm sure your dad experienced parts of that.
Yep.
And then what happened was our memories are very short, right? Where we are stupid people. And we thought, hey, remember when we used to get that same thing and it was almost as good and it was cheaper?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just do that again?
Yeah.
And you saw the industry shift back and
Right.
become difficult, and then shops got slow and people got let off, and it was a whole issue.
Right.
And now you're having the swing again where people are going, well, where are we going to get all the people to build these molds?
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys experiencing some of that now and trying to find the right people to come on board and be part of Spectrum?
I think you described my day-to-day problem right there. I mean, that's the reality is, I've been looking for a tool builder, multiple tool builders really for the past 6 months.
Yep.
I've interviewed half a dozen people, and we offered very competitive rates for Florida. We offer great benefits, 4-day work weeks, the whole slew of benefits. And problem is nobody has the expertise. It doesn't come down to work ethic. It doesn't come down to anything like that. It just comes down to the expertise. We've invested a lot of money and time into training people, bringing them in with no knowledge, training them, bringing them to that expertise level. And then typically they turn around and leave because they want the extra overtime opportunity, or there's small differences that they don't see, even though we're growing as a company.
Yep.
And then we lose all that investment. So it's really tough to try to do that over and over again, because you can't teach somebody how to become a good tool builder in a year or 2 years.
No.
It takes a long time. And so it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle. And regardless of people that are still in the industry, we're losing a lot of people. Yeah. And a lot of the older generation is retiring. They're moving on. And my generation is lacking heavily in the trades. And, we've invested quite a bit in the younger generation. Our median age here is sitting around the mid to high 30s. So
okay, that's not bad.
3 of my employees are in their mid 20s.
That's
so
awesome.
It's all, we try to keep that younger generation in here. We hire directly from tech school. We're going to roll out some benefits over the next few years of reimbursing for tech schools and trying to draw people here more, just to put a little fire in the industry and for the younger generation. Because I didn't even learn about manufacturing, in all honesty, until my dad took that jump. And then I learned everything about it in a matter of months because we needed the help. I was here during summer and every break and weekend. And, that's the kind of fire that needs to be lit under my generation, is that it exists. It offers a good career opportunity. There are good paying roles in this industry, and you can take it and do great things with it. We do have some older employees that have families, they have everything they need in life from this industry.
Yeah.
So,
and that was what I was going to ask, is how do you go from being in high school, ready to graduate, to deciding that, like, this is my career path? Well, I mean, working with your dad is fun. I've did that. That was great. But it also has its own challenges, which we can chat about. But it's not something to be taken lightly. I mean, you're going out into a career path that you don't know anything about, because schools are doing a disservice of not talking to students about what manufacturing actually looks like and how to get into it. And parents have this misconception that it's a dark, dingy, dirty place that people shouldn't work because it's a dead end job. And none of those are realities.
Right. Yep. And so for myself, I actually went to a college prep high school. That was my route, because I was told, not through my parents necessarily, but through just society, that this is the only way to succeed, is by going to college. Yep. And I wanted to originally be an architect and go through that whole route. And, I think when COVID hit, it opened my eyes a lot to the real world, because I needed a job when high school ended, because I was living at home waiting to see what the college process was going to look like with COVID. And all the hospitality places were closed, or just short schedules. They were laying people off. So job finding was a little tough in the middle of COVID. And I actually landed a job at a racetrack, working on carts and just doing engine repairs and doing some maintenance and keeping carts running and stuff. And I just love working with my hands. I love creating something or just accomplishing something physical. And then when my dad, said, hey, why don't you just come work here, and why don't we build this relationship here and grow? I need a partner really badly. Then as soon as I started really running the machines and getting into the industry itself, I fell in love with it really quickly. Yeah. And, when we talked about what the opportunities were, it seemed endless. You can get into different industries inside the industry. You can get into different tool building types. You can, die stamping, blow molding, injection molding. So there's kind of a endless road to how far we could take this. And that's where I saw the opportunity. I just saw that, we could one day we can build our own building. We can expand that building. We can do this and that. And that's pretty much what we did. We went from a 3,500 square foot rented facility or leased facility, and we built our own 20,000 square foot facility on 10 acres to
That's amazing.
Continue that growth,
Yeah. So you have plenty of room to grow.
We're pre-permitted up to 180,000 square feet. Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for you.
So that's what I saw when I was 18, that there's just an endless road to this. We can go forever.
Yeah. And when you look at it, I mean, plastic's not going away.
No.
As much as, some people, and we've joked about this in the past too, that as much as people are upset about the sea turtle with the straw in his nose and plastic straws are bad and all those things, plastic is not going away. There needs to be a better way to make it sustainable and recyclable, and people need to understand what that looks like to be more responsible with plastic. But it's not leaving. Everybody, like the lid on my cup is plastic. Everything that we use in a day-to-day life is plastic. You tried the paper straws; they suck. it's just reality.
And that's honestly, that's one of my favorite things that I love telling people about is that we talk about injection molding, we talk about manufacturing and our industry. Usually it comes up when I'm telling people what I do for a living, and they're like, well, what is injection molding? What does it do? And I'm like, you have the glasses you're wearing, the cup you're holding, everything, your entire car interior, and bumpers and stuff. And they just don't even know. And then, especially some family members and stuff, once they're a little more involved in it because they see what we're doing for a living and things, they start noticing it. And then they realize that, oh, this cup is, injection molded. This bottle, before it gets blow molded, the pre-molds are injection molded. And there's just everything is.
Yeah. And so for people to think like this is something that's going to go away, it's not something that I need to pay attention to. It's a really good industry that if you have more experts, we can build more stuff and we can build it better, safer, and more affordably. Right now, it's just hard because that demand for team members is hard to find. The beauty though is like for every shop like yours that's super busy, I can give you another 5 shops that are looking for work and saying, hey, do you know of anybody I can partner with that I can help out and do some work with? I just need to get my machines moving and have my guys working.
Right.
And what I've found in this industry is there's a huge level of cooperation, less than competition. Have you guys felt that same thing?
Yeah, I think this industry, we really don't see a lot of competition around here. We see a lot of competition between bigger companies. Down here, the bigger players are American Tool and Mold, Berry Plastics, Octex. Those are some of the larger companies in our area. And they're definitely competing against each other for some of the really big Fortune 500, Fortune 50 contracts. But as far as more local tool builders like ourselves, maybe sub 10 million a year in revenue companies, maybe even sub 50, we all work together. I mean, they'll call and say, hey, I need this tool repaired. Or maybe we reach out to them because we have an overflow run we need help with. And it's very, very cohesive and everybody works together. Everybody helps each other out. And honestly, if we put more effort into the industry as a country, I think with those relationships and the lack of competition and everyone working together, I mean, we could just accomplish so much more.
Yep. I think that's a huge point. I mean, all of the acronyms and the associations, the AMBA, the TMA, the AMA, I think I got a MAP, all of those things, right? They all have the same goal, which is make manufacturing stronger, make the plastics association stronger, I forgot plastics. Plastics is its own association. Like you go to the conferences and they all try and have the same idea. How do we get people to care and want to be part of what we're doing? And it feels like it's each one of those organizations in isolation. And all of us would pool our resources and say, how do we tell the bigger story of why mold making is important, why plastic injection molding is important, why all these things are important, and how do we get people involved in it? I think that you could make a splash. The conversation is always like, how do we make this sexy? How do you make it something that anybody gives a rip about and wants to be involved with? And I look at like Orange County Choppers. Nobody cared about choppers until there was a TV show and you saw the personalities and the characters and what was actually being created and the creativity and the engineering and the beauty that comes out of that. How do we, I mean, I'm making not much money guy in Illinois. I have ideas, but how do we take that story and pull everybody together and say, listen, let's build something that actually matters, that people want to be involved in? Because I'm sure you get it. You bring people into your shop, whether it's friends or family or whatever, and they're like, wait, what does this do? Mm-hmm. And you're like, this makes this military thing or this medical thing that goes in your heart that does all this. I'm like, wait, what? This big block of steel does that thing? Yes.
Right. Yep. I totally agree. I mean, that is actually one of the big motivation or motives that we took when we built our facility. How can we make this building attractive to people that want to come into the industry? An immense amount of lighting, all new equipment. Our oldest machine is from 2021, so everything we do is new technology, new age, bright, white, clean. Our shop floor, you can eat off of it. You know, that's how we run our business and that's how we operate. And when people come in, they just go, man, I'm used to the coolant reeking, dark, dingy
Yeah.
shop with a 30-year-old CNC. This is completely different. And that's because we're not just sitting here trying to max out our ROI every single time. We're trying to invest in the industry because we see the bigger picture. And, you know, I think to kind of touch on what we were just talking about and now, I think the biggest competition almost in our industry is employment and employees. I almost
Okay.
feel like the employees coming into the industry, they're comparing shops to shops, seeing what, not just on a dollar figure, but what do they have to offer to me? And, you know, I think that's something where we could work on as an industry, definitely, is because as managers, as owners, we're very cohesive with each other, but our employees are always looking at different opportunities as well. They're trying to see, well, what's the next cleanest shop? What's the next aviation company I can work for, or this or that? And, you know, that's something I think we could work on in the industry. And it's something, I think that's the biggest competition, is because we need people and there's just not enough people.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think part of making tool building sexy again, or making it sexy at all,
Yeah.
is it's going to start with technology. It's going to start with cleanliness and attracting the younger generation into the industry. I got friends that went to school. They want to get into finance. They want to be software engineers. They want to go down that road because they know they can make good money. They know they can land jobs in high rises downtown or nice clean offices or even work from home. We can't offer any of that, but we need to figure out, you know, how do we attract people into our industry in our own way? And I think a big portion of that is new machines, new technology, implementing AI, you know, the latest and greatest CAD softwares, and really investing in that experience. Because my generation, from experience, you know, everybody wants to be a part of new technology and the greater good. And I think that's kind of the disconnect with people coming into the industry and people leaving, is people in my generation look at the shops, and usually your typical shop it's filthy. It's a super old facility, super old processes. You got, you know, automotive work tickets moving around the shop. There's no technology involved, old machines, old tooling setups. And they just say, why would I invest my career in my 20s into this when they're not even investing in me? You know,
Sure.
they're not even investing in themselves. So a huge portion of what we do is, I think, a lot of our younger employment here, they're super attracted to what we do because they see that we're investing in the company. They're seeing the technology, they enjoy it, they love it, they want to grow with it, and we're trying to maximize that. So I think that's a huge attraction for my generation.
Yeah, I would agree with you. We've got a younger guy at work now. His dad works for us, Mike Zender. He is don't call him. He's my guy. But he runs our mold maintenance department, and he does a fantastic job. And his son is the same age as my son. And when he was getting ready to graduate, he was like, "Hey, do you think that Harrison needs some things to do? We want him to get a job. I think this would be good for him." But like years before that, he was like, "I don't want my kid getting into this industry. This industry is dying." Like all the stuff, right? Um,
Yeah.
and then he brought his son on board, and he's done an amazing job. He's picking things up. He's learning how to do the maintenance. He's learning how to do PMs. He's being trained. He's being taught, and he loves that he gets to work with his hands every day. That
Right.
it's not about paperwork or sitting at a desk. You're moving. You're using your body. You're using your hands. You're using your creativity. Your problem solving. How are we going to do this thing? How are we going to solve this issue? What does that look like? And he's thriving in it, which is it's an amazing thing. And I feel like there's so many students, and I mean, you can talk to this better than I can. There's so many students that when they leave high school or they're getting ready to leave high school, the guidance counselor is all over them saying, "Well, what are you going to do for the rest of your life? What's your career path? What are you going to do? How are you going to go to school? Are you going to go to school?
Right.
What's your job going to be? And I think it does a disservice because as a high school student, you don't even know what you want for breakfast. How do you know what you want to do for the next 40 years of your life?
Right.
And I think that we have to do a better job of like going into the schools, talking to the schools, educating the students and the parents and the shop classes and all those things and say, hey, listen, we're here and we're viable and you can make a good career here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think unfortunately, one roadblock that I found with trying to connect with a lot of high schools around here, they're so fixated on college acceptance rate for their school, for their ratings. And there's no trade acceptance rate. There's no trade occupation rate or anything like that. So a lot of school administrations' minds, they see it and they say, well, if 20% of our students go into the trades, we're only going to show 80% acceptance rate in college. So, I think unfortunately by adding that number or that statistic for schools, it almost pushes them away from wanting to help the trades because it hurts them. And so that's been a huge disconnect that we see. I asked some of our younger guys that went to a local tech school here, how did you find out about manufacturing? And usually they just stumble upon it. Like they started at college. One of our guys started in college and then he figured, I don't really want to be a graduated engineer. I really want to get into the manufacturing industry quicker. So he went to a tech school instead of finishing out as a mechanical engineer. And another one, he just lived locally, knew about the school, was interested, and neither of them had shop classes. I didn't have a shop class in high school. Yeah. So there's no discussion, there's no opportunity, there's no entry point. It's usually people that stumble upon it. And unfortunately, the thing that worries me the most is the statistics of it. And like we work very closely with our local tech school to try to pull students out and give them an opportunity straight out of school. And unfortunately, they had 30 to 50 students 10 years ago in their machining program. Now that this past year, they had 6.
Wow.
So it's just declining dramatically. And there's some frustration with them as well, because I say, well, what do you do to go to high schools to bring them to you? And they, there's not a whole lot they do. So, it's just getting to the younger students and getting it just in their head. But like you said, they don't know what they want to do. If I go into a high school and I talk to a bunch of sophomore and junior students about manufacturing and tool building and all this stuff, they're going to say, screw that. I'm going to get into social media. I'm going to become, I'm not doing any of that. I don't want to.
I'm become an influencer and make all kinds of money.
Exactly. They're going to become a YouTuber. They're going to become, all that stuff. And so there's a difficulty there because you really have to grab them before they go to college and go down that road. But then they're also usually not super interested in hearing about it.
Yeah. And, I don't know if there's just a lack of work ethic to wanting to get a job and start and provide and do those things. It's just easy to not have to do many things. I mean, people have gotten a little bit lazier.
Oh yeah, 100%. And like work from home culture has not helped that at all.
Yeah.
I can't send a CNC home with a guy to work in his garage. So you got to come here, you got to work, you got to, be willing to show up every day on time. And it's hard. It really is hard.
Yeah. I was just talking about that exact thing. The idea, like working from home was really, really important during COVID. Everybody made allowances to be able to make that happen. But quickly we realized that the sooner we can have people back in the shop, back in the office, the better off it is because it enhances communication. It enhances cooperation. It makes things easier to get the jobs done the way that they need to get done. Yes, you can do this, right? You can do a Zoom call, you can do a phone call, you can do email, you can do all that stuff, but it's just not the same as being face to face with somebody when you need to talk to them. And we still allow and encourage certain people to work from home when they have to, whether it's kids' schedules or whatever that looks like. And we're really grateful that that's an opportunity and something that they can do. But I do miss the days when everybody was just at work.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 100%.
because like you said, I can't have, Mike go work on a mold repair job at home. He can't do it. It's just not the same thing. And
Yeah.
it's good to have people in one space working together, cooperating and being a unit together.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's a lot of work we can do on reaching the younger generation, just as an industry as a whole. There's a lot we can do.
So what does that look like, right? One of the things that, I was asking you, what are some of the things you want to talk about? And you had said reaching new audiences in manufacturing without a big ad spend. What does that look like to you? I mean, what do you see as a path for us to do this?
From a clientele standpoint?
Sure. I mean, either one.
Yeah. So, actually, funny statistic for our company, we have never spent a penny on ads. We've been in business now for we're in our eighth year.
Okay.
And we don't run ads. We don't run SEO. We don't run any advertising at all. You could consider our website being an advertisement of some sort, but
Sure.
That's it. And we've built our entire business off of quality and delivery. When one company sees how well we deliver, the quality, the time, the budget, we don't call them later and say, actually, you know what, this is going to be way more expensive or anything. We give you a firm fixed price. We landed the job with that firm fixed price, no questions asked. If it costs me more to build the tool, that's on me. I didn't bid that project correctly, and that's how we do it. And customers are happy with our lead times. They're happy with our quotes. They're happy with our quality. And usually it ends up being, we end up being a recurring customer, or they become a recurring customer to us. And they usually pass the info on. We have a flag manufacturer out in Texas. And I mean, we've built almost 20 tools for him now at this point. And he just referred us to another customer of his and said, you got to use these guys if you're getting into manufacturing. Now we just built 2 tools for them. They're super happy with our quality, and he's got a whole line of products in a catalog that he wants to bring to the US. So there's just kind of a revolving door there of opportunity, as long as you don't mess up those relationships. I think you can grow a client list endlessly without any ad spend, without any marketing whatsoever, if you deliver what you say you can, when you say you can do it.
Yeah. I think you're onto something with that, but you have to have the right company that's willing to give you those referrals. We do some polishing work with a company, and they love us. And I think they're in South Dakota. And we said, there's got to be somebody else around you that you can refer us to if you think we're doing a good job for you. And they said, wait a minute, I'm not telling anybody about you guys. Well, I'm going to keep you to myself. I don't want anybody else to know who you are so they can use you. And then I'm going to have these delays. And we're like, well, that doesn't help.
Right.
That goes backwards.
Yeah. No, we definitely have that experience. So our largest customer is a medical company in South Florida.
Okay.
And they absolutely are keeping us to themselves. They don't want us to go anywhere else. I've talked to them about that. There are some other medical device manufacturers in South Florida that I want to reach out to and work with to a certain point. And they actually work together on their own projects, our 2 customers.
Okay.
But they don't like talking about one another, and they don't our largest customer does not want us going to anybody else, because their quality of product comes from what we deliver to them. They don't want their competitors getting the same or better quality. So it's understandable. Usually we get that better referral communication with smaller companies, obviously.
Yep.
This is a pretty large company, but it's really important.
It is. And, we talk about marketing all the time because we do a lot of it. We do a lot on social media. We used to do a lot with the magazines. And then when COVID happened, we cut our entire spend, advertising budget, and our sales increased. And so it was really hard to go back and say, let's run some more ads.
Yeah.
But at the same point, we think it's really important for people to see what we're doing and why we're doing it and who's doing it and what's behind it, why American made matters, and being able to push that out there. And social media makes it so easy to be able to tell your story.
Right.
that it's really important. And we also like to go to the trade shows and just let people know what we have out there. Get your hands on it. Let's meet the people. Let's shake hands, kiss babies, build relationships in ways that are actually meaningful. The problem with ads, and I was in advertising for a long time. The problem with ads is I can tell you whatever I want about my company. I can make up whatever story I want. I can make it look better than it's supposed to look. I can do all those things very, very easily.
Right.
But if you can actually tell the story from somebody else, you can get a customer testimonial, you can have some referrals, you can show the actual results, and meet people face to face. You're in a much better situation.
Right. Yeah. And that was one of the biggest connections there with our customer in Texas, that flagpole manufacturers. He supplied parts to his customer. His customer said, "Where do you have these made? I need quality product like this made." And that's how that connection started. And you're right, though, they have to be willing to share that. He could have easily said, "I'm not telling you where I get my stuff made because it's good," and but luckily we do have some really good customers that are willing to open up doors to other opportunities. And when they realize that by spreading the word about us, it doesn't affect their quality at all, I think that then they're very open to spreading more word. And I think a lot of customers are worried that if we start doing more work with other people, that their quality is going to decline or something like that, which we control 100%.
Right. And that's the difference between having a customer and a partner. Right. We don't want to have just a customer. We want to be an extension of people's tool rooms. We want to work alongside, whoever that is, and say, listen, what are those areas that you're struggling with that we can come up and help you with, and find solutions to help you be more efficient, make better products, and deliver for your customers in a way that makes more sense for you.
Right.
It's not just about us. It's how do we deliver for you and your customer? I think that's got to be the key.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's how we operate. 70% of our client list is other molders, and we build tools for molders. I mean, that's our primary business. We only produce about 30% of the tools we build. And so, like you're saying, it's a partnership. I mean, we have molders all around the country that we deliver quality tools to, so that it's a turnkey solution. They put it in their molding machine and they start printing parts within days of receiving the tool.
Yep. It's important, right? And that's having a good collaboration between manufacturers. Right. Where do you think that stems from?
I think the lack of quality overseas, the lack of communication. Half of our customers have testimonials from overseas. And like our largest customer, the medical manufacturer in South Florida, they've been building tools in China for 25 years.
Yep.
And it got to the point, we actually started doing work for them about 2 years ago. It got to the point where now they were building tools in China and drop shipping them directly to us to be fixed before they actually received the tools to do production. It got to that point. And they built 32 tools last year in China. So they're doing, I think they have about 700 or 800 tools at this point in inventory.
Wow.
And I mean, we've touched majority of the tools over the past 2 years. And so now we're building their first 4 US tools right now. That's an important project for us. And they're looking to have all their tools built in the US because we built their first one, delivered it to them. They loved it. They fell in love with it. They realized the quality, the craftsmanship. We're only 2 hours away. So we're a quick phone call. I have a very close relationship with the operations manager over there because he's here every week because we fix their problems quickly. We give good turnaround times, and we do what a lot of other tool builders tell them is impossible as well, as far as tool modifications. So I think the collaboration between molders and tool builders has really stemmed from bad experiences overseas. I think that's the big push. And that's why I think the tariffs would be a cherry on top to just convincing people to build in the US. We're just got to get to that point, because some people just accept the fate too. They get a bad quality tool. They just go, I'll just take it to my local tool builder to have him fix it and make sure it runs properly. And the tool only cost me $8,000. So what do I care? Have that kind of mentality. And so when people realize that we can deliver faster with better quality and competitive pricing, they realize that it's worth the jump.
The downside is when somebody brings you that tool and you tell them what it's going to take to fix it, and they're like, it didn't cost me that much to make it. Why would I pay that much to have it fixed? It's like, well, it should have cost you a lot more than what you paid.
Yep. And especially, man, I could go on forever about the quality of stuff we've gotten here from overseas. It's not just a quick, oh, their quality's terrible. It's an endless list of examples. I have customers that come and they see the quote that we give them. They go, oh, it's a sticker shock. And well, I'm just going to go overseas. And I say, well, I can tell you hundreds of examples why not to. And
Right.
I mean, all the way to where, it's a medical device that's used for stem cell replacements, and it's very, very the accuracy is critical. The surface quality is critical, and they take liberties, and there's different sizes. And when are you willing to take that risk when you're running $1 billion business? It make absolutely not, but they still do, and then we fix it, and now they're starting to learn from that.
Not only that, but there's a really good chance that they're going to go to market before you with a competitive product that you cannot do anything about.
Exactly. And I'm, and I would never sit here and say that we do everything perfect as well, because we've had some instances where something goes out the door and it needs to be adjusted a little bit. But instead of calling and getting that word that there's no way you're going to ship that tool back overseas, get it fixed, get it back over, anything like that, we're a phone call away, and we fix tools same day for that customer because they're only 2 hours away. If it's a few hour job, we can get it wrapped up, get it back, and it's in production within the same day.
Yep.
So, that's the relationship you're also paying for building in the US.
Yep. And, a lot of times that we've had the same situation. Tools come in from China and people just want us to check it, make sure things are right, make sure that they're working properly. And if they're, you open that up and you're like, do you have any drawings for this? Do you have any prints? Do you have any models? And it's like, no. Okay, well, why would you do this thing? Why would you cut steel in a way that doesn't make any sense to be able to try and make this mold? Why wouldn't they have just done this, that, or the other thing? And you have to go in and reinvent some things sometimes. And it can be a huge challenge. And for the person ordering the mold, they're not really thinking about all of those potential problems and hurdles that are coming up. They just see the price tag and they think like it's apples to apples and it'll be fine until it's not fine. Right. And I don't want to badmouth every shop in China, because just like the US, there are some good shops there and there's some bad shops there. Just like in the States, we've got some good shops and we got some bad shops and everything in between. But when you get that bad one in China, or insert wherever that is, right? India, pick anywhere overseas. When you get that bad mold, man, it's bad.
Yeah. It's bad, and it's always when you need it, when your deadline is at the very end. And and that's where we usually have to come in. And you know that. I mean, you get the call at the last minute. I need this tool up and running. It doesn't work. We got these issues. The part's not the right size. Surface quality is terrible, and I need it fixed. I need it yesterday. Yep. And I think that's where we build relationships, and that's where we grow without the marketing. Because you come to us with those problems, we will fix them for you, and then we'll try to convince you to not make that problem again. And that's how we do business.
Yeah, and it makes sense, right? You can show people the difference between what you do and what they got.
Right.
And I think more people need to recognize that it's real and it's happening. And it goes all the way back to what we were saying before. In order to continue to do that, we need more and more people to join the industry and be trained and be able to do that stuff.
Oh yeah. Yep. It comes full circle 100%. I mean, like I said in the beginning, I could use two tool builders right now, seasoned guys. I could use them right now. And we just can't find them. We can't find them. And it's tough.
Yeah, we were in that same boat, and we talked to, you always have the headhunters that ask you like, are you hiring? What are you looking for? Right. And I told them, have you guys ever used headhunters?
Yeah. So we signed 2 contracts with some companies recently, semi-recent, 6 months ago, and it doesn't help. I mean, they're seeing the same people we are. At the end of the the day, and then you also reach that point where their resume looks like they're a unicorn, and then they show up. We do a 3-day trial here to make sure you can do what you say you can, and usually they can't. And then we're trying to figure out what that happy medium is.
They go from a unicorn to a donkey real quick, don't they?
Yeah. Yep.
They put all that stuff on there. And then the other problem is that I have found with the headhunters, at least around here, is if they find somebody and they bring them to you and then you have their fees, they're now too expensive for what they're doing. And so you've now taken this person that might have been a good hire and you've made them unhireable because for the wages plus the fees plus all the stuff, you can't pay that. And if they leave after a year and a half, then you're out. If they stick out that year, you got to pay that whole fee. And it becomes a very difficult thing. And we have never used those services for that exact reason, that it's too difficult. And so
we've tried it. I mean, we're trying it actively right now. I've talked about a dozen people through those 2 companies, and they're never qualified. They're never qualified. They're asking for 20 years in the industry, hourly wages, and then you're right. Then you got the fees on top. You have everything else, and then if they walk in a year, I'm the only one that's losing all my money.
Right.
So it doesn't make it any easier. The process is just as difficult as me trying to find somebody myself.
And they're using the same resources. They're going to LinkedIn. They're doing all the different things. So I don't get it. My biggest success has been going to LinkedIn and looking up whether that was mold makers or tool builders or whatever you want to put in there. And I never ask somebody to come work for us because I don't want to scalp people. I don't want to poach people. I have too much respect for our customers and for the industry to do that. Yep. I will ask people, do you know anybody looking for a job? Because if you're looking, you're looking. And I'm not trying to sweeten any deals. I'm not trying to talk nicely to you and, make you feel all warm and fuzzy. I'm just saying, do you know anybody in your space that is looking for a job? Because we're hiring. And if somebody says, yeah, I don't want to be here anymore, I want to do something else, that's not my fault that you didn't take care of your team.
Right. Yep.
And shame on me if I don't ask.
Yeah. No, that's a great workaround. I mean, that's a good opportunity there. My biggest hurdle, I've tried LinkedIn, to be honest with you, because I use it every day, but it's usually the tool builders aren't on LinkedIn. Right. They're usually just not. Most of the machinists and tool builders, mold builders we have in the industry just aren't. I mean, I only 2 people at our company are even on LinkedIn, and it's our production manager and my dad.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
So where are you going to find people then?
So we use Indeed most of the time. Their prices have gotten a bit outrageous. We haven't really used them recently. Our last 2 hires have been through tech school that we brought in and trained. And now actually our lead CAD and CAM engineer is from a tech school. And one of our junior tool builders is from the tech school. Now he's been with us for a little while. And then one of our senior tool builders, he came from a company up in New Jersey. He found us on Indeed, and he actually came to our shop. It was when we were in our smaller 3,000 square foot facility. And he said, this is a way smaller shop than I've ever worked in. I don't know if I want to do this. He went and talked to about a dozen other companies in the area and came back. He said, let's do it. I'm in. This is where I want to be. I see what you guys are doing. And now he's making 25% more than he did 4 years ago. Yep. And that's just because, as we grow as a company, as you grow as an individual, we are going to compensate you fairly. But people are so used to hearing that with no delivery that when I tell people that and I mean it, it goes right over their head. They don't care.
Sure. And I think that's the right way to do it. Right. we've had people in the past where you say, how are you planning to grow in this next year? What are you going to work on? What does that look like? And they're like, I'm not working on anything. I'm perfect. I am good the way that I am. I don't want to grow. I don't want to do more, but I want you to give me more money.
Right.
And I don't think that's fair. I
No.
think if you want more money, you have to improve yourself so that we can improve as a company. To me,
Right.
that's the only thing that makes sense.
Right. Pay me more and I'll do better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'm not going to do better. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing right now, which, I'm doing fine, right? I'm doing a good job. You just told me I'm doing a good job. Why should I work harder? Well, you
Right.
want more money, right? Like
Yep.
that's not fair.
Yep.
I think your dad is watching with us, Mike. I'm assuming that's your dad. And he said, how can Spectrum Custom Molds and Manufacturing Inc. help Tony and Tony's customers? Let's grow together. It's a good question. And I think part of that is when we hear from our customers that they need help building certain tools, then you guys are somebody that we can reach out to because we know that you do quality work.
Right.
That's a big part of what that looks like for us. Just being able to have somebody in your resource pile and your Rolodex of knowing, okay, this is somebody that does this, this, and this. This is a person that I can trust. This is a person that I now know and have a relationship with. And I feel comfortable calling my customer and saying, hey, I heard that you have too much work. You should call, you should call Mike and Adam. They can help you out. Go do that thing. Because we're not building. We can't. Our customers would kill us if we tried being competition for them.
Yeah. And that's definitely something I'd be interested in. We'll look at it. And, same with you guys. I have a sample of what you guys can offer, the amazing polishing finish. When I ask for an A2 finish and I get an A2 finish, that's all I need to know. There's no, I'm not expecting more or less. And when I ask for something and I get it, that's all I need. Yeah. And so, and how we operate as a company, I have about 9 vendors that I use for everything in the company. And that includes machine manufacturers, tooling vendors, material, everything. I got maybe 9 or 10 vendors total. We're very particular when it comes to vendors. And, I think that's a good thing with Alliance too, is because you guys offer the laser welding services and the polishing and finish work, we can definitely push that your way, and definitely help you guys out as well.
Yeah. And listen, if you guys ever decide you want to bring that in-house, you need an engraver in-house, you need a welder in-house. I don't hate Florida. We can come out and do a demo. It'd be fantastic. It'd be great. I love it.
I think we should talk about an engraver because we've been looking at one recently.
Okay. Yeah, we should definitely do that. That's a conversation for another time. We built it from scratch. We weren't happy with how it used to be. And we started over from the drawing board, and we were at different trade shows and we said, okay, the first thing we need to understand is why. There are so many other engravers out there. Why are we going to do this? Why are we going to go through all the rigmarole of engineering this and building it and designing it and the R&D costs and everything? How is it possibly going to make sense for us to add another one to the market? And the reality is, because we do engraving as part of our service, we know what goes into it. We know what we need. And so we have the largest Z travel of any quote unquote desktop engraver on the market. It has an X and Y table. It's a MOPA laser. It's able to do different frequencies, super simple software to use. But it had to serve a purpose. It can't just be another thing. Super robust, made of actual steel, not, plate steel, not, flimsy sheet metal. It's a robust piece of equipment like you would want in your shop, right? Like somebody comes in and they're like, that's equipment. That's not a little desktop hobbyist machine. No interest. Just don't want to do it. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about some of those things. Let's play 5 questions because that's kind of fun.
Okay.
All right. Hold on one second. Let me pull these up. All right. Question number 1. If you could make one rule that everyone in the world had to follow, what would that rule be?
I'm going to go with honesty.
Ooh.
On that. I think I'm going to go with honesty. Yeah. I think just in the world personally, in business, everywhere. I think we'd get a lot farther with just honesty.
Yeah, you see so much of that right now, right? Like you don't know what to believe.
Right.
And so it doesn't matter what your political affiliation is or what you believe or what that looks like.
Mhm.
Honesty is one of those things that you don't know who's telling you the truth and what that looks like.
Right.
I think that's great. I just follow one truth and that's it. So like I feel like I know the truth and I just go towards that truth. And if it falls in line with that, we're good.
Right.
Question number 2. What is the one thing that you are superstitious about?
Mm. That's a good one.
So like
I don't have a lot of. I don't
for
have a
me,
lot
I
of
have this OCD issue where, like I always have to put my right sock on and then my left sock on and then my right shoe and then my left shoe. And if I pick up my left shoe, I put it back down to pick up my right shoe. Not that I think
Okay.
the sky is going to fall or the world's going to end. It's
Right.
just a thing.
That's a good one. I don't really. I don't know if I have a superstition.
Man,
Is
you
that
don't have
weird?
any crazies. Good for you, man. I wonder
Well,
what that's like.
I don't know about that, but I mean, I definitely got my OCD and ADD. But as far as superstitions, I don't think I have anything.
Yeah. Good for you. I've told my son, like, you see me come out of the bathroom, it's always 3 paper towels to dry
Right.
my hands. I feel like that's the right amount. If they don't like, if it's not 3 paper towels, I'm like, come on, where's
Yeah, I think you know what? Maybe one of them. My fiance is going to kill me for saying this, but I think
only if she watches it.
exactly. I have to eat while I'm watching something.
Okay.
And I'm not an iPad kid, you know, or
Yeah.
anything like that. But food tastes better if I'm watching something while I'm eating it. So I think that's got to be it.
Yeah. So you guys go out to eat and she sits here and the TV's like here.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah. If we're going out to a restaurant, I'll ask them to change the TV to something I want to watch, or when we're at home, I'm always watching something while we're eating.
We do that, I think, mostly as a family too. We talk during the breaks or whatever that looks like, or we'll talk before we eat, and then we find something to watch as a family and sit down and do that. And I grew up watching TV at dinner, so it wasn't anything rare.
Yep, me too.
And I call it multitasking. I don't want to sit in silence. That's boring.
Exactly.
Not that the person I'm talking to is boring. Maybe I'm getting us both in trouble. But yeah, I think that's great. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If animals could talk, what would be the rudest and why?
Man, I think I'm going to go with squirrels on that one.
Squirrels.
Yeah.
All right. Why squirrels?
They're a pain, when you see them, and I feel like if they could talk, they run around so much, they see everything, just kind of be like that pop in, say something really rude and just uncanny, and then they just run away, that kind of thing. I think that's what I'm going to go with on that.
And they're very indecisive. And, I think they'd be very wishy-washy all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a little rude and just say the most out of pocket things and then run away.
Yeah. I think that's fair. All right. Last question. How many kindergarten kids could you take in a fight before you were outnumbered?
Oh, man.
And what's your strategy?
I think I have a height advantage just a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not super tall. I'm 6'2", but I think to like kindergartners, I might have a height advantage.
You're like a giant compared to kindergartners.
Right, exactly. So I think I'm going to take that height advantage. I'm going to go with 50.
50
It's a
kindergartners.
Pretty high number, but I'm going to go with 50 just because of the height advantage.
Well, and you can only fit so many around you at a time.
Right, exactly. I can only be, taking a beating by 10. 8,
and it's
10.
only like hip high. So as long as they didn't get to your nuts, you'd be okay.
Exactly. Throw a cup on, I'll take 50.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think that's a good number. I would believe that. I think, you seem like a big enough guy. You can take 50 kindergartners.
Yeah. I think so. They don't punch that hard.
And I think you pick one up by the feet and you swing them around like helicopter style, and you use the one as a weapon. I think you're going to be in good shape.
Exactly. Yep. That's a good strategy.
It's like that question, 100 people versus a gorilla,
Right. Yeah.
The only problem is somebody's got to be the first person.
That one, I think the gorilla's taking it. I mean, I don't think 100 people could beat a gorilla.
Unless you wore the gorilla down. But again,
Yeah.
if you're like the 99th or 100th person that's like stepping into the fray here, you might have a chance. But somebody's got to be 1 through 98.
Right. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. It wouldn't take much for them to take out 20 people.
No, very easily. Very easily. All right. Before we get out of here, we always we end every show with a prayer. So if you're listening with us and you have a prayer request, your dad confirms that you are 6'2". If you have any prayer requests or anything that you want us to pray for, please go ahead and put that in the chat. Are there any other things that you want to touch base on before we bounce out of here?
I think that's good. I mean, I'd love to come back and talk again, definitely in the future.
Yeah, I think it would be great. Maybe we even just do that. We do that in Florida. We'll bring some equipment down and do a show down in Florida. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Let's do it. I think everybody would love it. Let's do it in the middle of the shop, in the middle of a day.
Yes.
Just have everyone working around us. I mean, I know the employees would actually love that, if we just set up right in the middle of the shop with all the Mazaks and everything running around us.
I think it's a great idea. We should set that up. We'll definitely set that up. We'll pick a time and come out. Maybe when it's a little cooler in Florida. That way I have an excuse that I have to go to Florida and get out of the cold for a little while. That would be fantastic.
Right.
It would be great. Do you guys do any trade shows or get involved in any of the organizations, AMBA or anything like that?
Not with organizations. We go to the National Hardware Show in Vegas. Every few years. We do a lot of next year we're going to do IMTS. We also do some vendor open house stuff as well. We don't get too involved with industry trade shows. We go to the plastic show in Orlando that's down here.
Yep, NPE.
Yep.
We're there every 3 years.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. We don't do a lot of trade shows. We definitely don't set up or anything. We don't have booths.
Yep. You guys should look at joining the AMBA. I'm gonna give a quick plug. It's a great organization, American Mold Builders Association. Good people, a lot of cooperation, a lot of good information that comes out of there. I get nothing from it besides hanging out with friends. So it'd be great. I'm selfish like that. I want you to join just for me. I think you'll get something out of it too, but I'm talking about me now. I think it would be great.
I'll take a look at it.
Awesome. Do you have any prayer requests?
Not off the top of my head, no.
All right. I'm going to pray for us, and then I'll let you go, and then we can go from there. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for this opportunity to talk with Adam. Thank you for all the work that they're doing. And just thank you that you provide ways for us to make money and support the people within our companies and our communities. We just ask that you would be glorified in this conversation, and that whatever it is that people are struggling with, sickness, finances, worry, depression, whatever that might be, that they would come to you and rely on you and know that you're there and in control. We think that we know how to do all these things, but truly you do. And we can count on that. So thank you. We just pray that you would be with us today and everybody that listens to this or will listen to this in the future. We love you. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Adam, thank you for joining us, being willing to do this, being flexible with my stupid schedule and bouncing around a little bit. I really appreciate it. It's awesome to hear. And we didn't even really get to talk about you and your dad working together and the dynamics in that. I love that conversation because I did that for a while. we'll save that for part 2. But I love the fact that you are doing that with your dad, and you have that partnership. It is something that is really, really special to be able to do. It does have its headaches, but it also has a lot more blessings than headaches. So it's great. If there's any way that we can continue to help you guys out, just promoting or anything we can do, don't hesitate to ask. And for anybody that wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
So you can go to my LinkedIn. Is a great way. Just it shows has my email on there. You can message me on LinkedIn. My email is just my first name, Adam, at spectrumcustommfg.com, or you can go to our website, which is spectrumcustommfg.com. We just launched a new site just a couple weeks ago.
Awesome. And I can assure you that if you're looking for quick answers, Adam is very active on LinkedIn. He doesn't take long to get back to you. He doesn't leave you on red. That's not part of what they were talking about building relationships and getting to know people. You can't just ignore people if that's your goal. So awesome to get to know you. Thanks for being part of the show. I'm looking forward to coming out to Florida. So we'll have to schedule that soon.
Let's do it.
All right, brother. Have a good one. And tell your dad I said hello.
Yeah, will do.
All right.
Thanks
see you,
so much.
I appreciate it. Bye. Well, that was Adam Guidoboni and Guidoboni. I said it wrong. I got it right the second time. From Spectrum. Great company, great people. Very easy to talk to and build relationships with. We've had a few conversations, and it just continues to grow from there. So if you're looking for American-made molds, listen, if you're looking for molds and you want a job that's well done, please, please, please consider the companies here in the US. If you need a list of people to talk to, please reach out to us. Tony at alliancelasersales.com. We've got all kinds of people that we can refer you to based on what it is that you're doing. Are you looking for consumer goods? Are you looking for medical manufacturing? Are you looking for food and beverage? What is it that you need? We can help you find the right person that's going to do a great job for you every single time. That's what we're here for. We're here to promote U.S. manufacturing and do all of this together as one resource because let's face it, we're all in this thing together here in the country, trying to build products and have products and make sure that people are well taken care of. And all of that starts with the decisions that we make in our purchasing and our building and our manufacturing. So I want to thank everybody for watching and listening today and being part of the Manufacturing Alliance. Till next time, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Take care and God bless.